All right, I'm here with the Masterbox South Africa champion in the super middleweight division, Greig Walker. Greig, welcome to SA Boxing Talk, and congratulations on your win over Johnny Kun. Let's go through the day and how it went. Johnny Kun, obviously a big name coming from professional boxing, and you yourself also being an undefeated boxer within Masterbox. How did you see everything playing out en route to becoming the Masterbox South Africa champion?
Thank you. I was very nervous to fight Johnny. I've always wanted to fight him because I knew he was a high-level boxer. Had the intention of being his problem as opposed to letting him settle in and do what makes him good. And from the get-go, just as we stepped in, I went forward and stayed in his face and just tried to hit him as much as possible, to be simple.
I watched the entire clip and it looked as though you were dominant from the onset. You managed to drop him on multiple occasions. Can you walk us through the game plan that you had going into the fight?
Yeah, so as soon as it started, I wanted to establish my jab and be able to find him and just cut the ring off and stop him moving, because I know that's one of his biggest attributes is his movement. And him being southpaw, I wanted to use my right as a jab. And I was catching him and I was trying to hurt him to the left to hit him with the left hook. And it seemed to work, and then just get him into corners against the rope and be able to unleash, because that would prevent his movement.
You've had, as you mentioned, a limited sort of background in boxing, but you managed to beat a guy that's been in the sport for a very, very long time. He's made a comeback. He's also been on a really good tear, a really good streak. Now that you beat someone with that experience, does it sort of legitimize you, especially in the Masterbox context?
Yeah, I don't really think of it like that. For me, I measure myself against how I do in sparring. I get some really good sparring in, and I always feel like I'm on the back end of the sparring. So the fact that I wanted to spar him, fight Johnny, and I did, and I beat him. I knew inside that I could beat him if I fought my fight. So for me, it's not about anyone else. It's just about me knowing that knowing was right, and that I could beat him.
At which point in the fight did you know, okay, I got this, or was there always that uncertainty?
I think when I dropped him at the end of the first round, I could feel he didn't like my power. And then after that, I just tried to make sure I could land clean on him. And every time I landed clean, I could feel it, that he didn't like it.
Where to from here? Because you're now the champion. Obviously, people are going to be looking and be highly motivated to challenge you next. Where do you think your next step is?
Yeah, I think it would be nice to defend the title. I would like a break now for November, December. I work long hours plus staying committed to my training. So it would be nice to rest, and I'll still train through that. But yeah, I'd like to defend the title.
Let's talk about Masterbox, because it's often guys that didn't get an opportunity maybe to fulfill their lifelong dreams of becoming a professional boxer before 35. What made you decide to take it up?
Well, I'm part of Fight with Insight, and Anton held an event, and he gave me the opportunity to fight in Masterbox. And I've always trained, so it was nice. I thought, okay, cool, let me try. And once I had that fight, I knew I wanted to do it more. And then, luckily enough, I've been able to stay active. So,
well, you're one of the guys that has stuck it through. You became a champion now. How do you see the organization as a whole?
I think it's good. I feel safe in the organization. I don't feel, like sometimes you go to other events and there's mismatches and that. I don't believe there've ever really been mismatches in Masterbox, and it seems that everyone's following the rules, and the refs generally do jump in quickly and look after the fighters. And yeah, I feel safe in the organization.
I know you're the champion now, but is there anyone out there that you'd like to maybe challenge? Just like Johnny tried to come up in weight division and try his luck at becoming a double champion, would you maybe be interested in something like that? Or is there someone in your weight division?
None that I can really think of. I don't really look for anyone. I'm kind of like to know who comes up, and then I just prepare for them.
Right, and you mentioned taking a break now going into next year. How often do you see yourself fighting, as opposed to your day-to-day? I
think I've averaged about twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how, on your body, at your age, how old are you now?
47.
47. How is it on the body now?
My body's okay, but I look after myself. I eat clean. I don't drink. When I feel a niggle, I go for needles. Like I do look after myself. Today, though, I'm experiencing quite a big adrenaline dump. So feeling a little low today. But other than that, I spar at least about twice a week. And I train every day and I run and everything. So I'm good.
And talk to us, you said you're having a bit of an adrenaline dump. How was the high of winning the title?
Amazing. Amazing. And it was, I don't often get people coming to watch me, really, but for some reason everyone turned up on Wednesday. So there was that high of everyone wanting a photo, and it felt good.
And did you think before you got the opportunity to come to Masterbox that you would have been interested? I know you mentioned you were with Fight with Inside and Anton, but did you ever think you were going to get to the point where you are now?
No. I was just happy to spar because I've got an idea that if I feel like I can handle, then I can handle everything in my life. So that's why I train, and it just keeps me in my best state.
How would you recommend this product to other people that are maybe in their 40s and maybe they have fought before, maybe they haven't? How would you recommend that to them?
Number one, I would recommend it because I think it is a safe organization. And I think my best advice is not to overestimate your ability. I think a lot of people do that. They start feeling like they've got game, and then, they shoot high. Like, go and humble and speak to Stephen and, maybe come to a few fights first and see what it's about, and then, get involved. But listen.
Yeah.
Listen when people, if they match you to someone and you think you're greater than that, be humble. Just listen to that. See how that goes first.
And as a champion now, you obviously got responsibility to represent the organization as well. Do you go as a fan? Do you love boxing as a fan?
I love the sport. With Fight with Inside, I watch some of the amateur stuff. I've been to 1 or 2 pro events, but when I haven't fought, I still go to watch there. Time is a bit of an issue for me, being in the hospitality industry, but if I have a choice of somewhere to go, it'll be to watch fights.
Let's talk quickly about Fight with Inside. I just want to go quickly because there is a program that you guys have been running, and just to make people aware that you have produced professional boxers as well through the program. Can you just mention a few of the names that have come through?
Jesdal, Christian Labote, and then Paul Masamba. He's done well, but he's still amateur. He's like in the competition side of things. And there's another guy, Ricardo, who I don't really know that well, but I know he's been successful.
Right.
It's a great organization.
Do you have a message for the South African boxing public that are watching this video and now are learning as well? Because also Masterbox is relatively new still to a lot of people. I think it's about 2 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So could you just send a message to the South African boxing?
Sure, that boxing is a lifestyle. You can't live one way, go train a bit, and think you're going to be able to box. Like, embrace. Like, I think it's Canelo Alvarez that says boxing is life, and it's true. Everything you should do in boxing, you should do in your life. So live clean, live a balanced life, and you'll be safe, and you'll get all the benefit of what I believe is an amazing sport.
Fantastic, Greg. And then just lastly, do you have any thank yous, any shout outs for anybody?
For sure. I'd like to thank my coach Ronaldo Pierre. He's a different level human being. Like, he literally, when I met him, he changed my life. Another guy, Shadow Shabani,
yes,
who was my sparring partner and he was in my corner. Joel Lebote, who helped me a lot with sparring. He's from Fight with Insight, also a high-level human being. And then obviously Stephen Castle for giving me the opportunity and looking after me in the organization.